Hey you guys, we are on Coldwater Canyon passing Ventura Boulevard in Studio City, and we're going to take Coldwater Canyon all the way to Beverly Hills, so don't go anywhere. Hey, welcome to Real Estate Happens, the very first and longest running real estate show on the web. I'm John McQuilkin. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so here we go. We are driving over Coldwater Canyon Boulevard, heading south. We are heading from the San Fernando Valley. Like I mentioned, we just passed Ventura Boulevard, and now we will be heading into Beverly Hills. We are passing Harvard Westlake Private School. You can't see it, but it's on the left-hand side. It is a private school where the students drive Ferraris and Mercedes and Porsches and BMWs, and the teachers drive Kias and Nissans and Toyotas. But that's just the reality of living in Southern California. You know, I love this drive. It's a Saturday, so it's not as bad as it usually is Monday through Friday when there's a lot more traffic. I mean, most people complain Monday through Friday when they're driving over the canyon because it is stop and go the whole way. But since I am a real estate agent, I actually enjoy going slow over the canyon because it gives me a chance to see the beautiful architecture along the way and to just enjoy the scenery. Because I love driving up into the Hollywood Hills. When I first moved to California a million years ago, I was a struggling actor, and I often would drive up in the Hollywood Hills to the top of Mulholland Drive and just drive along Mulholland, enjoying the views of both the valley and the city. Because from Mulholland you can see, on a clear day of course, all the way to the ocean or all the way to downtown Los Angeles. Now if it is a hazy day or a lot of smog, you can't see very far. Like for instance in June we have a lot of haze in the sky, so we call it June gloom. Now many tourists will come here and think that that is pollution, because Los Angeles got a very bad rap because back in the 70s pollution was really bad here in Los Angeles. The smog, you couldn't see very far because of the smog. But actually our air is very clean now. We have such tough emission standards on our vehicles here. We have to get smog checks on our cars every 2 years, that our air is actually vastly improved since the 70s. So when people make jokes about the smog in Los Angeles, that really isn't smog. That is haze, or like I said, June gloom. Okay, now on the left-hand side is Tree People. I don't know if you can see that sign that says Coldwater Canyon Park Tree People. Right there. Now when I first moved to Los Angeles, I was a volunteer with Tree People. We planted trees all over Los Angeles, from West Hollywood to Compton. And I still enjoy driving past some of the trees that I personally planted on Hampton in West Hollywood, and trees that I personally planted along Gardner in West Hollywood. And I don't get to Compton as much as perhaps I should, but when I do drive through Compton, I drive past the trees that I planted a million years ago. I won't say how many, because then you guys will know how old I actually am. But it was a while back. Okay, so we are getting ready to proceed forward once again on Coldwater Canyon, heading into Beverly Hills. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are passing, well, we're about to pass Mulholland as we make our way over the canyon into Beverly Hills. So now we're getting higher and higher up on Coldwater Canyon Boulevard. And it's a beautiful winding road. It's just wonderful, actually. I enjoy this drive. So, now up ahead is Coldwater Canyon to the right and Mulholland to the left. So we are not going to go to the left and go down Mulholland today. We are going to continue down Coldwater Canyon because I am heading into my office in Beverly Hills. I work with Rodeo Realty at 202 North Canyon Drive in Beverly Hills, 90210. And yes, there's a lot of famous agents that work in my office. I'm sure you're like, doesn't Josh Flagg work with you? Well, yes, he does. His office is close to mine. Okay, so we're heading down Coldwater Canyon now. I actually wish I could drive a little bit slower, but there's traffic behind me, and that would just be improper. To drive slow while people have destinations that they need to reach. Again, that's why I sometimes like it during the week when it is very busy, because it's stop and go and we're just going slow the whole way, and it just gives me a chance to just take it all in. Beautiful houses on each side of Coldwater Canyon. They're all over $1 million, but every once in a while you'll get a nice, very small house, perhaps a 2-bedroom, 1-bath along Coldwater Canyon that might come in under $1 million. It happens once in a while. Beautiful trees on each side of Coldwater Canyon. Now, I have sold homes along Coldwater Canyon in the past, and these are expensive homes. Like I said, $1 million. But if I am representing you, I would probably steer you clear from buying a home directly on Coldwater Canyon unless it turns out to just be the home of your dreams and you can't live without it. Why do I say that? Well, because like I mentioned earlier, Monday through Friday, this boulevard can be pretty busy, stop and go. And if you're just trying to pull out of your driveway to go into town to get a gallon of milk or some Evian water, well, it might take you a while if the traffic's bad. Plus you hear all the noise when you're right on a busy street. So, I would say any of the side streets would be perfect. Because with some of the side streets, you can learn the shortcuts to get down to Sunset Boulevard without actually jumping onto Coldwater Canyon. The landscaping is just getting more and more beautiful as we approach Sunset Boulevard in Beverly Hills. Lots of birds of paradise, eugenia trees, tons of palm trees, Washingtonia palms, sable palms, queen palms, royal palms, sago palms. You know, we just have it all. Passing Heather Drive on Coldwater Canyon. Again, I'm driving fast, but that's only because there's cars behind me. But when you're in town, you contact me and we'll take this drive together. Okay. So we are in Beverly Hills, so the speed is 30 miles per hour, and we have to stick to that speed. Because in Beverly Hills, you will get a ticket. Look at this, it's just totally shaded, because on this part of Coldwater Canyon there are big, tall pine trees, which are beautiful, and they were planted, gosh, over 50 years ago. Now I prefer palm trees, but what I do like about the pine trees is they keep their leaves all year long. See, it's telling me I'm going too fast. It was flashing, telling me I was going 33 miles per hour. So I've slowed down a little. Because we do not want to get a ticket on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Driving over Coldwater Canyon, heading to my office in Beverly Hills. Again, we started out in the San Fernando Valley at Ventura Boulevard. I was showing a house in Studio City, and now I'm heading back to Beverly Hills, and I thought, hey, why not turn on the camera and let you guys see my drive that I take very often, because I'm often going back and forth between Beverly Hills, Studio City, Encino. If Encino sounds familiar to you that are not from California, that's where the Jackson estate was, where Michael Jackson grew up, in Encino. And most all of his extended family members all live in and around Encino. Isn't that something? Okay. I want to make a right-hand turn. So let me let some of these cars go by, and I'll see if I can get over. Okay, so here we go, bro. Back driving towards Sunset Boulevard. And I actually put on my signal light and somebody let me out. Now, isn't that wonderful? Okay, so I'm at Lexington Drive up ahead. I'm just trying to figure out which way I want to go for you guys. Actually, I'll just continue straight. Okay, I'm just going to continue straight on Beverly Drive. Because this is actually a very nice street. Palm trees, hundreds of feet high, right? Not hundreds of feet high, but extremely high. We are in Beverly Hills. Most of these homes are over $5 million. We are passing Sunset Boulevard. Just love it. We're heading towards Santa Monica Boulevard. All right, here we go. We are still on Beverly. Driving through Beverly Hills. These are all mansions on both sides of the street. Does it kind of remind you of the opening of Beverly Hillbillies when they're driving through and you see all the palm trees on each side? I know that's what it reminds me of. Most of these homes are at least 8 million, 10 million. But once in a while you'll get a fixer. Now a fixer in Beverly Hills is a lot more than a fixer in other parts of the country. For instance, if you have a mansion with 9 baths, that is a lot of remodeling that you need to do. 9 bathrooms all need to be redone. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, we are approaching Santa Monica Boulevard. Now we started in the San Fernando Valley, if you recall. Now we are at Santa Monica Boulevard. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a left-hand turn on the Santa Monica Boulevard because I am almost to my office. Like I said, my office is at 202 North Canyon Drive, and that is 1 block over from Beverly Drive. So we are doing all right. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Now Rodeo Drive is just 1 block over, actually. I've made separate videos on Rodeo Drive, so just look for those and you will see them. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up this video now. I hope you guys enjoyed our drive from Studio City, Ventura Boulevard, over Coldwater Canyon, all the way to Beverly Hills. What an exciting drive it was. I can't wait to do it again with you guys. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment. Let me know if you've ever driven on Coldwater Canyon, or if you're even familiar with Beverly Hills, if you've been to Beverly Hills before. Leave me a comment, let me know. Okay, so here we go. I just made my left-hand turn onto Santa Monica Boulevard, and Canyon Drive is straight ahead. And that, as I said, is where my office is. Real quick, there's the park, Beverly Hills Park. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, turning right onto Canyon Drive. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna have another one for you real soon. I promise you that. So until then, thanks for watching. I'm John McQuoken, and I'll see you in real estate.